Deals don't die. They bleed out slowly in the same 6 places over and over again. Want to stop losing deals and start closing like a pro? You need to know these 6 zones. My name's Rosa, real estate coach with GloverU University, and I'm breaking down the 6 specific points in a real estate transaction where deals go sideways. Inspections, appraisals, loan issues, contingencies, co-op agents, and deadlines. These are called the fallout zones, and they are predictable. If they're predictable, then that makes them preventable. So I'm not giving theory here, I'm giving you real strategies you can use now to plug the holes in your sales pipeline.
All right, so you guys ready to dive into the second half? Because now we're gonna get deep into this. So these are the pressure points, and now we're gonna dive into what it takes to be a leader through a transaction. So how to navigate when these show up. Because the truth is, your clients don't need tour guides. They need a closer. Someone who can get them to the finish line. Pop quiz. I want you to think of the last deal that you lost or almost lost. What triggered it? Throw out a couple.
Dad.
What was that? The dad, yes. And yet, one of the most painful ways to lose a transaction, and I'll throw this out there. Anytime you have the third party that shows up, whatever that means in this case, the number one question to ask when they are very opinionated and you see that they poise, you guys know what I mean when I say that? Arms crossed and they're the all-knowing. What do you know about that? That's the question. What do you know about? Like dad flips out at the sliding glass door. I'm blowing the deal up because the sliding glass door is broken. I completely understand and get it. What do you know about the cost of replacing that? And now you've neutralized the opinion, because if we can get the door replaced, like, is it about the door? Is it? You see where I'm going? You've neutralized the poise, and I'm on their side. So that's one of the most powerful lines you can use whenever somebody is poising in anything. What do you know about? And then you ask, not that, but you point out whatever that is that they poise on. So yeah, that's a huge one, because you have no rapport. They show up and they're, in theory, they're the venom. They're coming at. And so that's the neutralizer right there. Let's do one more. One more, yes.
Buyer's agent didn't think a 50-50 split on a 5% was enough for her.
Meaning at their company?
She closed the deal before the PA was signed.
Oh, talk about fiduciary. Sounds amazing. And that goes back to what the opportunities we have. And so I'll share this little piece, and again, it's not to do with that, but I remember back in 2006, we were in this office where everyone was on the phones all day long. It's where I met my business partner that we've been business partner for the last 15 years. I remember my broker manager mentor said to me, Lee, do you know the average closings an agent has here in Orlando? And I said, no, like 10, 15. He's like, no, 5. What I want you to understand, Lee, is that every 5 transactions you do, you literally starve an agent out of business from that energy, like because of that. And so every time we would get to a 5th closing, like we were legit, because we had a board and everyone had to, it was skull and crossbones. Because that's what our job was every day, was to literally push that out. Yeah. That's a little bit of who I am. So let's dive into the 2 core bulletproofing strategies. Because when you think of the dad moment, when you think of the agent who's behaving opposite of fiduciary, the question that I want you to think about in any time that you've had drama in a transaction, did you lead through that moment or did you react to it? Because we're going to dive into the 2 bulletproofing strategies, and the good news is bulletproofing doesn't contain magic. It does require 2 things, and these are the 2 things we're going to spend the rest of our time on. Number 1, proactive prevention, and 2, early response. Proactive prevention. In proactive prevention, we don't wait for problems to show up, because that's what amateurs do. In proactive prevention, we assume everything will go wrong. Everything. Amateurs are Pollyanna. I'll solve it when it happens. Oh, when that happens, I'll deal with it. For those that came in early, I shared that bulletproofing is a 6th sense for me. It's arguably my greatest skill set besides pre-qualifying, which is why 70% expiration in South Florida just blows my mind. It's like, here's I'm gonna talk about this for a second. I want you guys to think. In South Florida, you gotta have drones, you gotta have photos, you gotta have the everything because you can't, it's Miami, right? But like to show these, like you can't just park. You gotta like pay to valet, and it's not $7. So it's like, yo, you take this listing, you put it on the MLS, you pay all this money, you then have agents that want to show it, and then they expire? Yo, this is like a $6,000 investment to list a property that doesn't sell. So, pulling this back, think everything will go wrong, and think in flowcharts. If this, then this, solve it. If this, then this, solve those. If you have the shittiest, most effed up scenario solved, and then something shows up that you already got the answers for, now you show up with all the solutions, helping the other agent not wig out. Because you go into the call with questions to see how strong they are, and then you offer sound solutions that are win-wins. And now we can keep the deal moving. Because the other agent most likely will not have the skill set that you guys are going to have today. And so that's why I go, did you lead or did you react? So if there's one asterisk I want everyone to take away from today, it is every scenario you go into, solve the most effed up thing that could ever happen and work backwards. Don't wait for it to happen. Go, okay, so I haven't heard from the other side and their loan commitment is in 10 days. Let me call everyone to see what's going on and ask a couple questions like, what are the open stipulations? What's the underwriting turnaround times? I mean, why would we want to know underwriting turnaround times? Because we got deadlines. Yeah. And I don't trust that they know what they're doing. Yeah, and in the state of Florida, the listing agent now has all the power to communicate with the lender. They opened up that it's our right to communicate with the buyer's lender as the listing agent. And so we should have always been able to, and yet, at the very least, do it with the buyer's agent. But just have your list of questions. Like, what are the steps? What are the underwriting turnaround times? Because if we got 8 business days, and it's 3 days for turnaround, the second they kick back, you're done. You got to extend. And so you're getting ahead of all of this. This is how we lead. Get ahead of problems, and it's how you build calm into the transactions. You already have everything solved. And if this is new to you, and if you do not have like a mentor that you could bounce scenarios of like, hey, here's what's happening. That's what masterminds are all about. That's what, again, being in these right rooms that you can get folks that you can bounce ideas off of and dive into solutions. When you are calm, you have all the answers, the solutions. And again, the solutions may not be what one client wants to hear, but it is the only way to move forward. This is how we become a true fiduciary. I mean, that's what the whole buyer scenario is, that we are fiduciaries and this is compensation, blah, blah, blah. Yet, going into a consultation, which we shared earlier, and going and say, hey, here's how we work, here's how this will go. Should this happen, this is how our systems flow. I will be communicating with the other side. They'll be like, no one ever talks like this. Most deals fall apart because someone was not prepared for what will happen next. And that phrase right there is one of the most powerful lines we can ever use in this business. Here's what will happen next. If I don't have any news, you will hear from me. Good news, no news, bad news. I will call you by 4 o'clock tomorrow. Whether that's the agent on the other side, whether that's your client. Here's what will happen next. And always, 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 always assume everything will go wrong. So there's 4 parts to proactive prevention. Number 1, outcome framing. And yes, I'm getting into a little NLP stuff and advanced psychology, but outcome framing. Asking the question of, what do we want to achieve here? Drop all the ego, drop all the energy. What are we doing? What's our goal? What's the win-win here? What is the outcome we're all looking for? Number 2, setting expectations. When this happens, this is what those who choose to work with me experience. Setting the expectations. Number 3, preparing alternatives. and this is synonymous with what I was just sharing about having everything solved. If this happens, this is what we'll do. If this happens, here's our 3 options. We don't have to decide right now. Just know whatever they come back with, this is what we are able to do. I just helped someone negotiate the other day while I was here. First question was, how many days do you have left in inspection? They said 5. Perfect. 2 things happen right now. Number 1, you get the buyer, and the inspector on the phone, so you're not interpreting the inspection report. They paid the inspector to tell them what's in the report. You don't interpret it. You just are there to navigate the conversation. Hence, you've already seen it. You know what questions to ask, and you're moving this forward, but you're using the inspector's words, not yours. It's the fastest way to get yourself in trouble. You're not inspectors. And always be a source of a source. If there's another asterisk you want from me today, fastest way you get sued in this business is being the all-knowing. Always be a source of a source. Always know where to send them. In this case, I'm not an inspector. We were going to get on the phone with the inspector. So, boom, now we have clarity. The next step is no one's wigging out. We know there's stuff that needs to be done. We're going to have 2 GCs come out over the next 2 days, and we're going to get numbers. We're going to get actual facts. We'll let the listing agent know, hey, 30 report. There's a ton of stuff that came up. We're getting 2 GCs out there. Would you like to have a 3rd one on that you can represent so we can see where we all land? Because there's going to be 3 values. That's all meeting of the minds. Solutions, not problems. Now, if we're not getting the GC or we're getting 2 days, guess what I'm doing? With facts, extended. Not will we extend, it's here's the plan. Yo, we want to buy the house. The truth is, this, and this is now showing up in the next inspection too. We want to solve it, but what we want is a plan. Does this make sense on how to keep more deals together? Yeah. Sweet. And then number 4 is reassurance. Yo, we're on track. I got your back. I'm here for you. I'm a fiduciary. We're good. Here's our plan. You are in good hands, but if you want to back out, well, I got you. And yet, here's our plan. Facts. Stay out of emotion when it comes to any of these. Emotion's easy. Our job is to be the straight line.
If this hit home and you're thinking, I've lost deals in these 6 zones, then it's time to stop guessing. Inside Sales Rocket Coaching and one-on-one coaching, we build systems, language, and the leadership necessary to navigate this market, especially when deals start to collapse. Are you ready to level up? The link's below. Let's build the closing muscle together.